Hi, my name is Mike Milinkovic, Executive Director of the Eclipse Foundation, and it's my great pleasure to welcome everyone today to the Jakarta One Livestream China. I'm here to talk to you about the Jakarta E Working Group and our exciting new release, Jakarta E10. So without further ado, let me jump into my presentation. So the talk is entitled Celebrating Community Success. And the reason why that is true is because I think that there's a lot of celebration to be had. Jakarta E has been around now for a number of years. And Jakarta E10 signifies the first release where we've really truly issued new specifications and innovations within the existing specifications. So we're very excited about the way that this community has prospered and fostered new specifications, and we're here to celebrate that. First, let me talk a little bit about the Eclipse Foundation itself. The Eclipse Foundation has been around for about 18 years in total. A couple of years ago, we moved to become legally headquartered in Europe, and we've been seeing significant growth throughout our life. We're now at 415 projects, 320 members, almost 1,800 committers across our various projects, 40 professional staff, 20 working groups, but 332 million lines of source code. So it's a very growing and dynamic community that we have at the Eclipse Foundation, and Jakarta EE is part of that overall success and growth. And I also want to put Jakarta EE in context with a number of other initiatives that we have at the Eclipse Foundation around around open Java technologies, and particularly cloud native Java technologies. So in addition to Jakarta EE, we have another specification group called MicroProfile. And then within the enterprise Java space, we have Eclipse Glassfish, Eclipse Jetty, and Eclipse Vertex, all very prominent open source projects in their own right. And then within tooling, we have Eclipse Che, which is a whole new generation of of web-based tooling for Java developers. And also on the Java SE side, we have Adoptium, which is doing enterprise-grade Java SE runtimes based on OpenJDK, and OpenJ9, which is our version of the Java virtual machine. So Jakarta EE is part of an overall Java community within the Eclipse Foundation, in addition to which we also have, of course, the Eclipse IDE from which the Eclipse Foundation started. Now, the Jakarta EE Working Group has been part of the Eclipse Foundation for going on 5 years now, and is an industry consortium that is responsible for building the community, developing and improving the specifications that make up the Jakarta EE platform and profiles, driving the Jakarta EE brand across the industry and across and around the world, establishing a technical roadmap for the releases and the community that we have, and also ensuring compatibility. And compatibility has been one of the success factors for the enterprise Java space, originally with Java EE and now with Jakarta EE. And as you'll see as we go through this, there's a lot to celebrate there in terms of the growth of compatible implementations and the overall growth of this ecosystem. In terms of Jakarta EE at the Eclipse Foundation, just by the numbers, we've got 26 member organizations as part of the Jakarta EE Working Group, and that represents a 35% growth year over year, something that we're very proud to see. And many of the companies and the companies that have recently joined are from China, which is really something to celebrate. We have about 175 committers working on about 55 open source projects. This includes the specifications, the TCKs, and the compatible implementations. These are deployed across around 154 Git repositories within the organization. And we're seeing about an 18% growth year over year in terms of the lines of code, for currently sitting around 76 million. So obviously, Jakarta EE is a very dynamic and innovative and growing community and open source set of projects at the Eclipse Foundation. Now, if you look over the history of Jakarta EE, the first couple of releases, we're talking about Jakarta EE8, Jakarta EE9, 9.1, were really about moving Java EE8 over into the Eclipse Foundation, establishing a new spec process, establishing a new open and vendor neutral community to guide the development of enterprise and cloud native Java. Those have all been accomplished. Looking forward to, just in a couple of weeks, the release of Jakarta EE10, This is really the first time we've used this process, and the community has really rallied around delivering innovation to enterprise and cloud native Java developers in the Jakarta EE specs. And all of this effort is being backed by industry leaders. I want to call out a couple in particular. Oracle has been instrumental in helping us move from Java EE and the JCP over into Jakarta EE. We literally would not be here without their involvement and support. Red Hat has been instrumental in getting this release out the door with the likes of Scott Stark and Scott Marlowe, and all the work that they did around providing the leadership for the release and leadership around the TCK. And then, of course, many others from the likes of Pyara, Tommy Tribe, IBM, Fujitsu have all participated in this release. And of course, there's many community members that are not involved in our member companies. It's really been a community effort, and I think it's the leadership that we're seeing from these companies and from these individuals is a great indication that we have a successful community going here at Jakarta EE. Another thing to celebrate is the growth of compatible implementations. So for those who have followed the history of enterprise Java, Java EE was kind of flatlined, if not in decline, for a number of years in terms of the number of vendors that were involved in producing compatible products. And we're seeing significant growth since the establishment of Jakarta EE working group and the establishment of our compatibility program. And so just year over year, we've seen the number of products that are certifying to being Jakarta EE platform compatible growing from 23 in 2021 to 33 this year, which is very significant growth. So this move of in establishing Jakarta EE as a working group and as a community has really worked out, and we're revitalizing the enterprise Java ecosystem. So looking forward, what's new? And of course, we're largely here to celebrate the release of Jakarta EE 10, which is demonstrating true community innovation in this release. And we're having a series of webinars, talks, and Jakarta Ones to celebrate this, leading up to, of course, our Jakarta One live stream main event in December. And it's really about this. It's really about celebrating the community-driven innovation in this release. As I've already talked about, the number of implementations is growing, the membership is growing, and what we're really seeing here is the establishment of a community-driven vision for the future of cloud-native Java. And we're seeing this in the creation of new Jakarta EE projects and specifications, which are taking shape. And we're already seeing conversations around Jakarta EE 11 getting started in terms of where this platform is going to go next. So looking at EE 10, which is our modernized, simplified, and lightweight, those are some of the key themes for the release. One of the things that's most exciting is the fact that we have a new profile. So Jakarta EE 10 core profile is specifically been designed and established to provide a basis from Jakarta EE for the development of microservices. And we expect to see this being adopted at MicroProfile, for example. That's really something to celebrate, because it's been at least a decade since there's been a new profile added to Java EE and Enterprise Java. So some of the key features that we're talking about, Jakarta EE, Jakarta Security 3.0 is supporting OpenID Connect, which is an important feature for our cloud native world today, as well as updating some lower level APIs. Jakarta Persistence has done a new release and has updated the query language and query API, as well as establishing UUID as a basic Java type. And RESTful Services 3.1 has updated API while maintaining backwards compatibility, standardizing the Java SE Bootstrap API and multi-part form data support. In addition to those, as I already mentioned, we have a new profile, the Jakarta EE core profile, which is, like I said, the first new profile in Enterprise Java for going on at least a decade. And then finally, CDI Lite, which is a whole new specification building on top of the CDI implementation to provide to work in more restricted environments providing build time support, and the removal of some deprecated API parts. So with that, I thank you for your kind time and attention. We're obviously very excited about the state of Jakarta EE and the future for this community as it evolves new specifications. I hope you enjoy the event today. We're very excited about the number of people that are attending and the support that we're getting from China for Jakarta EE and the enterprise and the future of enterprise and cloud native Java. So thank you, and we'll talk again soon.